Hello everyone, welcome back to Black Cat Chat. My name's Andy Clow, I'm the Marketing Director here at Black Cat. Today I'm joined by one of our relatively new members of staff, Ben Pountney. He's Associate Director at Black Cat. We're going to do our normal thing of do a bit of an intro to yourself as to how you came about to join us as a colleague, and we're going to dive into what you bring that's different to the business, which is something we've been having a chat about beforehand. So Ben, welcome, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah, good to be here. So yeah, Ben Pountney, Associate Director. I'm based in the Manchester office. I've been here for about just come up to 3 months now. Feels like I've been here a year or longer, to be honest, which I think is a good sign. Yeah, it's going well so far. Working with a lot of different people, a lot of different clients, a lot of different type of work. Yeah, it's going well.
It's brilliant to have you on board. I didn't realise 3 months had whizzed past so quick. I had the privilege, we actually met in person at our away, we call it a week, away 3 or 4 days, whatever it is, in Devon. So I got to know a bit about you then, but really interested to see that the amount of work that is coming our way as a marketing department with your name tagged on it. So it's definitely doing something different. So before we get into all that, why don't you tell us a bit about, let's say, your history? Yeah. And what's the connection? How did you? Because we don't use recruitment agents. So how did you become a Black Cat?
Yeah, it's a good question. So in terms of my history, first of all, I've been a chartered building surveyor for a number of years now. I did my APC in 2024. So since then, I've been a project manager inherently. I've done a big scale of development projects, smaller projects, building surveying work. So I think as soon as I started, which was at Cushman & Wakefield on their graduate scheme, I knew quite early I would be long-term a project manager. I think building surveyors normally go one way or the other. And for me, I went down that project route, and then that sort of soon led into a different type of work, which I'm sure we'll come on to later on. And then in terms of my connection with Black Cat, so I knew Brett through Patrick Kane, who's also now here.
Paddy, as we know.
Yeah, as we know him, Paddy, yeah. So I knew Brett. I think I'd met Brett once or twice, and I got on quite well with Brett. And then I was doing my APC to become a chartered building surveyor, a member of the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. And
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mouthful, that, actually. And I was reaching out to everyone I could to get as many APC mocks as I could, because I knew it would massively increase my chances of passing that APC. And Paddy kindly set me up with James Dyson, who's obviously one of the founders, and Brett to do me a mock. That was so that was the first time I met them. Since then, I think I sort of stayed in touch with James and Brett a little bit, almost as friends, and then the opportunity came up, and I was quite keen to sort of move quickly on it, really.
And if I'm not wrong, so you're Associate Director now, and you've only been here 3 months, but it's already been recognised, and there's been a little bit of a change of role and everything since you've been here. Is that right?
Yeah. So I came in at Senior Surveyor, and I think after about 6 weeks, Steve and Ben and James promoted me to AD, Associate Director, which obviously great news that I was really happy about, and I definitely didn't expect it, but I think it was just a bit of a recognition, really, which was nice, and it was really surprising to me because I'm used to a corporate environment, coming from Cushman & Wakefield, where you're limited to almost default timescales. So it doesn't matter who you are, how long you've done it for, how good you are at your job, how much work you win, how much money you make the company. Ultimately, you're limited to these default timescales, and can be frustrating at times when you probably go the extra mile with some bits. So it was just refreshing to have that so early on, really, and almost taken by surprise with it, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, that's the Black Cat way, right? Yeah. It's talent is recognised, so it's great to see that in your stories. So, and when you look at the kind of the opportunities for the projects that you're working on, some of that stuff I hear is slightly different, and this is what we're really here to talk about, is to promote and understand what you do differently that really adds to the team.
Yeah, so I'm sure you're probably sick of seeing my name on the marketing email.
I mean, fortunately, my team generally go and pick it up, but yeah, I do see it. I was like, I know, it's Ben again. Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of, I think so Black Cat's a building consultancy inherently. Most building surveyors or building consultancies don't do the sort of work that I've got experience in doing, I would say. Because I come from a PM consultancy where I was a peer project manager, basically working on a small number of client accounts where it was like sort of large scale development work, residential, commercial, mixed-use regeneration projects. So that sort of thing where it's very intense work and it's quite a niche skill set almost. So when I came to Black Cat, I didn't shout about it too much. I was happy to sort of pick up wherever really in terms of work. Because I'm a chartered building surveyor still, I've still got that element of versatility in terms of what work I can pick up, and I was happy to just go at it really. I wanted to work at the business. I wasn't coming here to do a certain type of work, but yeah, I had a couple of conversations with people in the office, and I think it quite quickly rubbed off that I was very comfortable managing sort of large design teams, going through the more complex pre-contract procedures that are involved in a large development project, and I think that sort of rubbed off in the office a little bit. I think because I was in the office a lot, I think when you start a new job, it's always good to be in the office as much as you can, because you want to.
You need to be known.
And with Black Cat, in different offices as well. So I've tried to work my way around a little bit. Obviously, I'm in London today. So it's important to meet everyone really. And I think because I was in the office so much, you know, as a project manager, getting phone calls, on Teams calls all the time, people quite quickly recognised like being comfortable in that project management environment, which I think ultimately is what I hopefully bring that's different to most building surveyors. There's definitely people at Black Cat who can do it, so I don't want to say I'm like somebody completely new.
We're a team of multi-skilled people.
Yeah.
So if you've just got one of those things in particular that helps, you know, everyone else, then yeah, that's why you're a massive asset already to the company.
Yeah, and there's a lot of speculative work that we're doing at the minute, me and some of the other guys at Black Cat, in terms of going after the bigger stuff, for the bigger development projects, which is obviously we've done a lot of work with the marketing team for. Yes. And it's good that a lot of that's sort of getting fed my way and with some of the other colleagues as well. So I think it's really positive that Black Cat are getting these big opportunities as well.
Yeah, the scale of jobs, even in the time I've been here, I've seen the scale in a lot of cases. We've done a lot of shopping centre stuff before, but moving outside of that field, I'm seeing, you know, square footage that I've got no idea how to conceptualise. Yeah. You know, so which is something obviously I need to learn. Someone says to me it's a 50,000 square feet. I'm like, I don't know what that is. I can't imagine what that is. So okay, and so just something that we you've gone straight in and talking about, you know, your APC and postgraduate course and all these kind of things. Something that fascinates me is, you know, how did you discover what building surveying is, especially with some of the younger guys? It's easier to ask because it's more recent. How did you become a building surveyor? Why did you become a building surveyor?
So this probably isn't as exciting as answers as you want, really. So
I don't know if we've had an exciting one yet. I don't think so.
I'm sure there's too many exciting ones, but I'll be completely honest. I finished my undergraduate course, which is in geography, realised it wasn't what I wanted to do, and there wasn't a massive or a clear career prospect that would go straight up from it, really.
Yeah, geography teacher.
Yeah,
I don't know. Being rude, probably.
Colouring in.
Dude, that's my job. I am the colouring in guy. Head of colouring in. But yeah.
Yeah. So I finished that and I was like, I'm not sure what to do now. I wasn't quite ready to finish university. I probably wasn't at the level of maturity to go straight into work as well at that point in time. So I ended up speaking to a friend from home who, my really good friend, Ruth Goldacre, who works at RLB. I basically said to her, what do you think I should do? Like, she's really good at guidance and advice, and she said, I think you'd be a good building surveyor. And I was like, why? She said, well, you've got good people skills, you'd be good with clients. I can really see you having your own clients and also being able to grasp the technical side of it as well. And it is a fine balance, building surveying, between being technical and being good with people and clients. And I sort of just took a punt at it and put myself on a building surveying course on the back of that. So it's not the most exciting story really, but I took a bit of a risk and thought, I'm going to go for it. It sounds good. And then the course was okay. I don't think it does building surveying justice as a profession. Okay. I think it's not what it's like in the real world at all. And then when I went into the industry, very quickly I knew it was for me, and it was I was a good fit for it really.
That's an interesting point about you're going into a vocational course, and then you expect that vocational course to actually train you to be ready to go out on the job. And it definitely happened in my experience. You know, trained as a graphic designer, and I did 3 years to get that degree and learnt nothing that was relevant. You know, I learnt more in 3 months of working than I did in there. So it's interesting to hear that's still the case with such a vocational course. Yeah,
it's. I don't think it always does it justice in terms of what it's like in the real world at all. And I think there's a lot of building surveying is good because all the courses for all the issues that the industry is facing, all universities are facing, and attracting building surveyors into it. It is good in the fact that it really promotes like the year in industry, which is key.
Yeah.
Which obviously we've had people do at Black Cat, Amaya included, I believe.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's a really good opportunity. I didn't do that, so I sort of took a punt at it, and the course wasn't a good reflection. But I think I almost got lucky in the end, really.
Your friend had a brilliant insight somehow.
Yeah, I think so. And I was very 50-50 between quantity surveying and building surveying as a course.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did building surveying as well. Not any floor to quantity surveying, but we get a bit of both in a way, and we get that element of diversity. I could probably go and be a quantity surveyor if I wanted to, or I could at least give it a good go. So yeah, I think I made a good decision really. I haven't really looked back since.
That's good. Well, let's skip all the way back to now. Okay, so just touching on, we're not going into projects themselves, but what kind of give us an idea of some of the scale of some of the projects and everything you're looking forward to potentially working on in the next, almost 2026. Potentially by the time this goes out, it probably is 2026. We're recording this in December. So what does 2026 bring? What the opportunities you see?
I think the opportunity at Black Cat is huge for the larger scale development projects and just general project management. I think some of the inquiries we're getting through are almost a little bit scary in a way, which is really good. It's nothing we haven't done before, but I think it's so different to what maybe Black Cat's seen over the last few years in terms of size. We're talking in the millions of square foot, not the thousands. We're talking
like
masterplan schemes.
No idea how big that is. But
yeah. I'll show you a few photos when we get upstairs.
Yes.
But I think there's a lot of opportunity, and I think Black Cat have got a lot of like capable bodies really that can deliver it now. And I think Black Cat are quite good at. Obviously, we've got the model where we have 2 directors on every instruction. I think they're quite smart about who they put together in terms of people that complement each other in a way, and that's best for everyone. It's best for us as surveyors. It's best for the client. It's best for the wider project and consultant team. So it's an exciting time, and I think we're already winning instructions now for big scale projects, and I think we will be next year as well. Yeah. And I think it'll be a point where we're completely flooded with large projects. As we're getting there now.
Really interesting. I think something that I'm interested to know is, the breadth of sectors that you guys are covering with this project management, and coming back to your geography degree, like the geographic locations that Black Cat are covering and we're able to service.
Yeah. So geographically, we're here, there, and everywhere really. We're looking at opportunities in North Wales, Wrexham. We've obviously got through Eamon and Sean. We've got that level expansion into Northern Ireland now. So
Southern Ireland,
and Southern Ireland,
yeah, we've got the 2 offices.
Yeah, so we are looking at opportunities and winning opportunities in the likes of Belfast and Dublin now as well, which is really good. So our project management skills in England are also going over there to support, because Eamon and Sean, as they grow that team, can't do everything themselves yet. So you've got people like me and James supporting from Manchester really. So we're covering Ireland, we're covering Wales, all over England. Even to the point where we're coming down and supporting on schemes in London as well. So me and James have got a meeting about a scheme in London tomorrow. So there isn't really a limit.
Really here, right?
That's why I'm really here. In terms of sectors, there's a lot covering. So industrial, we're working with a lot of investors at the minute, and we're doing a bit of a mix of sort of speculative warehouses, build-to-suit warehouses, and those build-to-suits are very occupier specific. So I won't get into too much detail really in terms of what we're doing, but it's very tenant driven, and we're really getting under the skin of occupiers, which I think is what Black Cat pride themselves on as one of the USPs of the business almost. It's really understanding occupiers. So we're doing a lot of that in the industrial sector anyway, in terms of warehouses. Commercial, again, I think Black Cat have always been pretty strong on commercial, but working investment offices in terms of for investors, Cat A and Cat B fit outs for occupiers. A lot of service workspace I think is coming through the door, and opportunities relating to that. And residential is one that's, in terms of from a project management perspective, we don't look at too much at the minute in terms of live opportunities, but it's definitely something that we want to push for in 2026. I've done a lot of residential project management, whether that be like developer side. fit outside. So there's a lot of opportunity there as well, I'd like to think. And then obviously education we'll touch on as well with Amy, which I did a little bit.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So I think, with the education piece, working as I have done over the past few months with Amy and you and the team and everything there, I think that's that I can't wait to get Amy in to have a chat with us, really, to talk about that, because I think, it's different scope, and I always struggle a little bit sometimes when people ask you, what does Black Cat do? And because we do so many different sectors, but not residential, and that's going to make my life even more confusing. But yeah, it's good to have that understanding out there. So, okay. So, kind of covering, we've covered a fair bit about your past and the present, and we're looking forward to 2026. But I suppose something that's really interesting at this time of year is everyone kind of thinks about the new year coming, etc. And like I say, you'll probably be watching this in January. Apologies, this is December. But what do you see as the challenges and subsequent opportunities that 2026 is going to bring to the market and your specialism that might help and educate some of our listeners and watchers for something to look out for in 2026?
Okay, I'll make it specific to development.
Yeah.
In terms of challenges, I don't think these are new challenges, but I think they're definitely worsening and becoming more prevalent. I think one key one to any development project is planning, going through the planning process. The requirements get stricter every year. Local authorities, which have different requirements, get stricter every year, and there's constantly more sort of loopholes to jump through. And that's not to say that they're not valid loopholes. There's a lot of sort of level of regulation in the planning process with the local authorities, but it is becoming a very difficult process, I think, and it's a very unbiased process towards what type of developer you are, whether you're an institutional investor who does widespread development schemes, or you're a small medium developer trying to build 4 houses or 6 houses. The planning requirements are generally the same. There's the same validation checklist you need to go through. So it's a challenge that's becoming more difficult, more time consuming, more uncertain, more risk involved with it. And it's been the way for a number of years now, but I don't think it's got massively better. There's a lot of talk in sort of government talk about easing planning restrictions and trying to get through this home building target, this yearly home building target quicker, but I don't think we've seen it yet. I've done a lot of residential development, so I've seen apartments been built, and we're still not seeing that ease up yet. So I think that's a key challenge. I think viability from a financial standpoint is a key challenge. The affordability of development, land costs, construction costs, the cost of meeting all the new regulations that come in, which I know Tony's spoken about on separate episodes. It's just getting more and more difficult to make developments stack up, which is why a lot of developments rely on government funding. I think that's a problem that doesn't look like it's getting better anytime soon, and obviously very reliant on government funding packages for that. And then I touched on a little bit. Another problem is the level of regulation. And it's not, again, it's warranted regulation. It's stuff we need to have, but
of course, yeah.
It's ever challenging for developers, and it's an additional cost, and everything's taking longer to meet all these regulations that are coming in. So on the brighter side, I think opportunities from a development standpoint, I think there's definitely opportunity for more public-private partnership. I think that's where the opportunity lies. In the public sector or governments, they've got a lot of stripped brownfield sites, which is locked or difficult to unlock, and it's just sat there contaminated, or you've got old council office buildings on it, for example. That's a key opportunity in using the private sector specialisms and development companies and project managers like Black Cat, for example, to try and unlock those difficult challenges and bring that out of the ground, really. That's an opportunity, I think.
No, that's great. That's really nice to hear an optimistic outlook at the end there, because life isn't always about challenges. There are opportunities as well. And fingers crossed 2026 all works out for everyone in that sense. So I think that's probably a good time to bring a close to this conversation. As we say with everyone here, we're really looking forward to following this on another chat sometime later on, see how these projects have gone, etc. And you'll be able to talk in more specifics, which will be quite nice as well. So Ben, brilliant to have you here down in London today. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for joining us today. And we look forward to welcoming you back next time.